Former US President Donald Trump was rushed off stage after a series of gunshots were fired at his campaign rally in Butler in Pennsylvania. The suspected shooter was confirmed dead while a spectator was killed and two others critically injured. President Biden reacted to the incident and there was saying that there was no place for such violence in the United States. Vice President Kamala Harris said as well that she is glad that Trump was not seriously injured. Now, Trump has reacted to the incident now, saying that the bullet pierced the upper part of his right ear. He also thanked the Secret Service for their immediate reaction. Now, according to the Associated Press sources, this incident is being investigated as an assassination attempt. Listening to what Biden had to say, we also got some reactions from the rally.
Take a look what happened.
He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you.
More like what we heard, the bullets rattling around the grandstand. One hit the speaker tower, and then chaos broke. We hit the ground, and the police converged to the grandstands. The first thing I heard was a couple of cracks. Then I saw a hydraulic line from one of the speakers looked like it had gotten hit. Then I heard, like Chris said, a couple of bullets rattling around. And then we hit the deck, and once the authorities converged, we assisted with two patients that may have gotten shot up in the grandstand, and we cleared a path for getting them out of the way. And it's just a sad day for America.
My colleague Carolyn Malone joins us from Washington. Carolyn, if you could take us through Trump's statement. He's come out now and spoken about the entire ordeal.
He has, absolutely. And of course, this is a very shocking incident that everyone has seen play out on this video when he's on the stage and gets shot. It appears on the side of his face, on his ear. He's then covered by the Secret Service, and from that grouping, he stands up again, so clearly well enough to stand up, although he's been injured, and shouts, "Fight," and then the crowds respond. So even, before these statements, we've sort of heard from Trump that he is, pushing on, essentially. But in his latest statement, he said it's incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead, so confirming that the shooter is dead, but that I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong. I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. So confirming there that he was experiencing a gunshot wound, and we can see, of course, from the photos that clearly he was bleeding, so he was injured in that incident. I think what's also important to note is a statement that's come out from the Trump campaign in the last few moments, saying that he is looking forward to joining everyone in Milwaukee. And by that, he means he's still going to go to the Republican National Convention that's due to take place from Monday to Thursday. This is the huge event at which his political party, the Republicans, officially nominate him to be their presidential candidate. We are, of course, less than 4 months away from a presidential election here in the United States. But he has come out now in that statement and saying that he is well enough and he will be pushing forward and he will be going to Milwaukee for this huge event. Something like 50,000 people expected to take part, many of them Republicans, all of the known names, a lot of them on the stage speaking, and we'll be finding out who President Trump's vice presidential partner will be in his campaign. And in fact, importantly, one of the possible nominations for the vice president's place for Trump is a gentleman called J.D. Vance. He is a governor in the United States. He's young, but he's also known as incredibly loyal to Donald Trump's MAGA, Make America Great Again movement. He's come out on social media and pointed the fingers at the Democrats, at President Biden, saying today is not just some isolated incident. the central premise of the Biden campaign is that Trump is an authoritarian fascist who must be stopped at all costs. That rhetoric led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination, so pointing the finger at the Democrats.
Right, we'll absolutely talk about that a bit more. I just want to bring in Anand Ahuja as well. Sir, we'll just come to you in a bit. I want to talk about the assassination attempt. Now, there are source-based reports, Caroline, that are in international media that are suggesting that this investigation is taking the route of it being an assassination attempt.
There's no doubt.
Yes, that is what we're reading into it at the moment.
Anand, sir, I'll come to you. Caroline, if you could take us through the reports that are coming in first.
Sure, absolutely. So that is what we're hearing from the reports. And we've had a number of lawmakers and representatives coming out and saying they want this to be a wider investigation. They want there to be hearings held on Capitol Hill to make sure that they both, of course, look into the incident itself of this shooter, but also why there was a lack of Secret Service protection. You know, a lot of the witness videos that we've seen, people being questioned by media at the scene, show that a number of people say they saw the shooter on a rooftop right next to this rally, that they even informed the police, they informed the Secret Service, and that nothing was done quick enough to stop this incident from happening. So we're hearing also that, you know, the FBI will be involved, and also potentially the Department of Justice could take this investigation forward, and definitely lawmakers on Capitol Hill will want to find out what happened, with, you know, a number of people pointing the fingers at the Biden administration and saying, as he is the leader of the country, under his rule, the Secret Service hasn't done a good enough job to protect Trump.
Thank you so much for joining us and bringing us all those details on this development. I'm also being joined by a New York-based attorney, Anand Ahuja. Thank you for patiently waiting, sir. And of course, you're also the Vice President of Indian Americans for Trump. So this sort of rhetoric that Caroline was mentioning that has been built around Trump, that he's an authoritative figure that needs to be stopped, do you think that somewhere led to this incident?
There's no doubt about that. Actually, if you see, since 2015, when Trump actually announced that he is going to be one of the candidates for presidential election, that kind of rhetoric was there at that time, even after when he became president. If you remember, at the time of his inauguration in January 2017, the whole Washington, D.C. was burning. There were riots. Nobody at that time, especially I'm talking from the left wing of Democratic Party, they never wanted Trump to be a president. And once he became president, they went after him. 2 impeachments, cases after cases. So they actually did not let him sit peacefully, to the extent even today, I am really concerned, basically because of 2 things. Number one, Secret Service didn't have any information that what is going to happen. We don't know at this particular moment whether this was a single shooter or there are other people behind this person, whether it's a group who has the conspiracy. Nobody knows anything. In a country like United States, the Secret Service does not have that kind of information. The another confusing thing for me is, and I am unable to understand, the same type of incident happened at the time of John F. Kennedy in early 60s. The shooter was on a nearby building. The same thing has happened here. There was no security check. There was no Secret Service. There was nothing. Investigation, no inspection was done of nearby buildings. So I am unable to understand that how everything has unfolded so far.